Alright, so finally we are talking about Gargoyles. So I just finished reviewing the first season of Wizards Beyond Waverly Place, and I wanted to talk about Gargoyles. If you don't know what Gargoyles is, basically Disney had this block of animated shows in the 90s called the Disney Afternoon. And a lot of them were based off of old Disney properties. Like DuckTales was a comic. Scrooge McDuck was a comic character. DuckTales was kind of its own invention, taking those Scrooge McDuck comics and characters from it, Donald Duck comics, throwing it into a show. We had Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, which was influenced by other things, but it was taking old Disney characters. There was Tailspin, which is a play on the Jungle Book, Goof Troop, etc., etc. Gargoyles was the only different one in that bunch. Gargoyles was this show that was clearly like Disney saw how popular Batman the Animated Series and said, let's do that, but our own. And instead of taking a pre-existing comic book thing, they made an entirely original show that was just fucking amazing. There's no other way to describe this show than just fucking amazing. It is ancient mythology, ancient Scotland mythology, ancient medieval mythology with magic and different creatures and things like that. Set in modern day with modern day action and excitement. It's also well realized, and you see that in these first 5 episodes, which I'm reviewing as a whole because back in the day they used to market this as Gargoyles the movie. It got put on VHS that way and things like that. It's not really a movie. These very much flow like 5 different episodes, but they're all meant to set up the show, so they do work together, I guess, but not like, oh, this is a movie. Like, no, it's not. So I'm just going to kind of break down the plot, and we'll talk about certain things I think of a note. First episode is about, you see the Gargoyles in their ancient time in Scotland and all that stuff. They're basically protecting this castle and these people. The people don't seem to really like them, and they're really fucking racist. But Goliath, has friends with some of the humans and really, believes in taking care of others and is just a good dude. Even if the humans don't like them, they still have some allyship with them. But eventually humans betray them and take over the castle, and the Gargoyles go to save the princess, and they believe that the wizard believes that they led to the death of the princess on accident. He freezes them in a spell that basically puts them into stone till the castle rises above the clouds, which is such an oddly Pacific spell. Like, why the fuck is that even like a spell? Like, what a weird spell. But he lost the want you to reverse it. So when they realize the princess is alive, they all get frozen in time, and the rest of the Gargoyles were dead and murdered. This is an amazing first 2 episodes, showing this plot line and showing them wake up with David Xanatos and all that stuff, because it already sets up so much interesting about this world. First of all, ancient mythology, like you're seeing here, exist back then. So clearly it still exists now, and we're not seeing that in these first 5 episodes. It already sets up that possibility, because there's no way that magic would just stop existing as we got set in modern day, right? So clearly we're going down the road for more magic in the future, even if most of this stuff is focused on it being set in modern day. So that's an interesting possibility. Second, Goliath and all these characters are so well written and well realized, with their conflict of trying to be accepted and trying to figure out their stuff. So well done. But what I like most is that they really show you that the human and gargoyle relationship is something that's going to have to build over time, and clearly is not finished by the end of these first 5 episodes. That is such an interesting display of kind of racism in a show like this. I mean, that's clearly what it's an allegory of: different things, different people, and what trust really looks like in those kind of situations. where you're betrayed by people that you thought were with you and they weren't. And so that's an interesting idea explored there. But that's the first 2 episodes. Xanatos, you know, all the gargoyles. Well, the rest of the episodes are just the gargoyles kind of exploring things. We meet Elisa, and she and Goliath get along really well. Kind of sets up that Goliath and her might have some kind of relationship. You know, I remember watching season 2 of this show years ago, seeing a couple episodes in that season. I'm like, are they setting up a romantic fling? But clearly it was here from the jump, which is weird to think about, but it also is something we'll talk about a later date. But I just really like these first 5 episodes, kind of exploring everything, setting up this world, and it doesn't really resolve anything. There's still little bits to work at with this show, but in this first 5 episodes, you get the ancient mythology, kind of showing us that magic's still here. You have character relationships that are complex and need to be resolved, but may take seasons to resolve. That's such an interesting thing to think about. So it's just all well written, all well realized stuff. The voice acting is great. Of course, Keith David, you got to talk about his Goliath. Oh my God, what a sexy voice. David Xanatos. I can't even do the voice. I was trying to do the voice. But it is just amazing stuff. Such well written, well realized stuff that, yeah, I could go on and on about the praising of these episodes. And honestly, I hate reviewing this show like this. I just want to binge all of it and do one big video, but I'm not going to. Because immediately when I got done watching these 5 episodes, I thought to myself, I really want to watch a fucking other one. That's just immediately what I thought, because I'm so in love with this show again. Every time I watch this show, I go from a little bit of not seeing this show in a while and go back. I love this show more every time. I've only seen season 3 once, so we'll talk about that when we get to it. But yeah, I'm excited to talk about that with you guys.